Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your hump day? We here at the Tom Gully Show, as always, hope you are experiencing the... Man, haven't talked all day. We hope you are experiencing the full, total, and complete amount of hump that you so desperately crave and you so rightfully deserve. And tonight, I'm going to tell you about Night of the Living Dead, the 1968 film that defined the zombie genre for all movies to follow. If you could like, share, subscribe, retweet, Pony Express, do what you got to do, right? And then we've got super chats available to you, and you want to turn on those allowing the free membership thing, because that could happen. It could happen. It's happened before. It'll happen again. And this time, it could be you. Follow the instructions at the bottom of the scroll, and you'll be groovy. Thanks to all of you who showed up on Sunday for our members-only viewing of Night of the Living Dead. Of course, thank you to Aku, who's already generously donated in a super chat today. Night of the Living Dead is supposed to be public domain. And they use music in that movie from another movie, which is also public domain. But for some reason, the Universal Music Group, there are 4 tracks of very short duration that I got copyright notices on. Didn't affect the channel, wasn't a copyright strike. I removed them. It's a real pain in the keister. It's a real pain in the keister, man. And also want to say, and this is big, rest in peace to Roger Corman. If you like low-budget movies like Night of the Living Dead, Roger Corman's your guy, and he passed away this weekend. So, Rumpled Trenchcoat has generously donated and gifted 5 memberships. So if you've got your allowing the gifted memberships thing on, the instructions are at the bottom of the crawl. You can snap one of those up. Paul Field, known to you as No Filter Paul, you could get one. Just allow your gifted memberships, unless you have a brand page, and then they don't let you because, of course. Terry Nee has been a member for 1 month. Says I'm a member. How rude. God, let's get to some of these chats here. Oh, by the way, Replayables coming up top of the hour. Next hour. So we got to be out of here by then. Let's see, where was I? Let's see, where was I? Hello, fellow chatters. Hump it real good. Hump it real good. Document of the Dead. The Dead Will Fall. We're both great docs about Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead might be the best of the George Romero movies. Who wouldn't like to be locked in a mall? No zombies getting in. Dinah Bryan says, I've had such a lovely filing day. Oh, is it tax day over there in the UK? You know, No Filter Paul is also from the UK. There he is, right there. He's from the Isle of Wight. SG Fanboy says, Sunday's show was a blast. It was a lot of fun. So all those movies I was telling you about that are public domain, I started looking them up, like McClintock. Yeah, it's public domain. The score is copyrighted. So I got to find some. I mean, you can go back to the 20s and Nosferatu. I could show that one. All of that's free and easy, but those silent movies get to me after a while. Randy says Chef is in the house making them fancy pizzas down there in Union Station in Indianapolis. Hello, folks, says Joker Fish. Joker, nice to see you. Jenny G says, SG Fab, I was disappointed I missed the members show. Well, we're going to do another one this Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. Thank you, Rumpled Trenchcoat. There we go. Did you get one? Hey, way to go, Joker Fish. All right. You killed Roger? I didn't kill Roger Corman. I would never do that. Met Roger Corman. Nice guy. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, you're welcome. The list of actors and directors that Roger Corman gave their first break to is just endless. Oh, I forgot. Oh, man. SG fanboy. I forgot this. Yeah, we were talking about Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. Well, look what he did. Oh, the pain, the pain. Have no fear. Smith is here. No Filter Paul says, I'd rather be locked in the mall with zombies than in there shopping with my wife. I'd rather not be shopping with your wife as well. Jokerfish says, George Romero directed my friend's music video. It was fun. I bet it was. Let's see here. Sorry I missed Sunday. Family in town. Don't worry about it. We'll do it again. Diane O'Brien says, for filing day. I don't know what that is. But Jenny G is laughing. Everybody's laughing. I don't know what they're laughing at, but probably No Filter Paul. People laugh at him. No Filter Paul, very, very successful practicing stand-up comedian who I shamefully have neglected doing a thing I told him I'd do. And the reason is my computer keeps crashing when I try to do it. Oh, by the way, last night, no show because I had a business dinner. Again. The executives invited me, so I had to go. Reverend Wild Bill is here. Everybody say hi to Bill. Hello, doopa-doopa. People saying hi to each other. Most cheerful chat room on the internet. Most cheerful chat room on the internet, verified by independent sources. Lost in Space terrified me back in the day, especially Dr. Smith. Oh, you abominable bucket of boats. I forgot to put Galumbo in my queue. Seriously, I'm so sorry. It's okay, Terry. Really. It's fine. This is when Terry will now, here's Galumbo. Let's get Galumbo on the screen. I just have one last question. Jokerfish says, doopa-doopa-doo, yes. Terry Lee, 50 lashes with the wet noodle. Lyndon, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. No, thank you. Don't thank me. Thank you. You did all the work. People saying hi. The Wolf is here. He says, awesome. Yes, the Wolf. This is especially for the Wolf. Yes. Terry, it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers. All right. What's going on here? Like I said, replayables, Levyverse channel, top of the hour, 8 Eastern. Let's see. Rump Trenchcoat said, I wonder if Columbo episodes are still under trademark. A watch along with one of those would be awesome. Yes, they still are very much owned. Aku says, I only know of Lost of Space from O&A. Ant does a dead-on impression. You know, No Filter Paul was part of the O&A show. Very important part, as a matter of fact. Paul Field, who was here in the room. I don't know if he still is. But the other thing is some TV shows, it's really weird. Some Bonanza episodes, for some reason, are not copyrighted. I don't understand it, but evening everyone, says Wild Bill. Hello. People saying hi. It is the most cheerful chat room on the internet. PCL at 5 p.m. Pacific. Are you sure about that, man? 5, 6, 7, so 8 Eastern. PCL I can't watch, man. It's just screaming, and it's just, I can't do it. I better open my thing. I think it's time for me to open my thing. Lost in Space was creepy. Billy Mooney had a fun music career. He kind of did, yeah. SG rocking the ages. SG fanboy is just brilliant. There's no other way to put it. Aku says, yes, but I only heard No Filter Paul in the best of worst of comps or bombs and flubs. You can hear them all over the place if you really dive deep. It's a wonderful story of him and his wife and a television star from England in a bathroom. I'm not going to say any more about it than that. Reverend Wild Bill says, what do we learn today? Monday and Tuesday, a day without Gully is a day of woe. Yeah, I apologize, but business. It was business. I had to meet some people about some things. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Let me open up my thing. Got to open up my thing. So we all watched the movie, right, together on Sunday. A lot of us did, and got all the technical bugs, worked out. And hey, Joker, Jenny G, thank you so much. Very generous of you. Thank you. Whoa, Nelly, are you doing Keith Jackson? Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Well, we got the old Big Ugly is trading helmet paint down in the trenches. Who's number one? Dot the I in Ohio. He's at the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45. Ooh, fumble, Oklahoma football. All right. Jokerfish says hello. Excellent movie, Tom G. Thank you. Well, we had a members-only watch party on Sunday. We watched the whole damn thing, and I ate popcorn. Open your thing. I did. I opened up my thing. The Wolf says, got to go to another phone. People saying hi to each other. The boys played on the idea that Dr. Smith was into William far too much. Well, in the robot. Happy birthday, Chris Abels. I did not know it was Chris Abels' birthday. Happy birthday, Chris Abels, if in fact it is. Tomorrow, I watched Killing It with the Abels this weekend. It's a very good episode. Aku says, when did you tap out of Frog Days Replayables, Tom? It ran till midnight. I was out early. I'm a early to bed guy. Happy birthday. I did not know it was Chris Abels' birthday. Red Bill says, happy birthday, Chris Abels. I don't know why you're giving me money for that, but I donated to the Friday Replayables, and I don't think they read my super chat. They might have. I don't know. I don't think I didn't hear them. I could have been dropping the kids off at the pool, though. You never know. Autocorrect can jump in a lake. Yeah, you got that right. Hi, and happy birthday, Chris. Oh, man, these chats are coming thick and fast. I hate to go to the thing, but I'll give him money at 8 o'clock Eastern. Yes, please do that. Oh, how's it going? Yes, you did, Tom. I read it. I always will, brother. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. How's it going? Well, I gotta get to my thing because we're already 10 minutes into this, and this is a big topic. So, we could get into the cast. Dwayne Jones as Ben. Absolutely no mention that character was black in the script. But people have written all these social commentary things about it as if it was intentional. There were two independent film companies in Pittsburgh. One was called Hardman Associates, and that's kind of related to the most hated man in movie history, which was Harry Cooper, the bald guy in the movie, and George Romero's company, Latent Image. And they combined to form Image 10, which created one thing in its history, Night of the Living Dead. So the cast was members of Image 10 and other actors that were previously cast for commercials, acquaintances, Pittsburgh stage actors, Judith O'Dea as Barbara. They're coming to get you, Barbara. I should go ahead and load up all of because not all of you guys were there, but SG Fanboy did some very amazing things. I mean, some very, very amazing things for that. StreamYard is not letting me. Oh, no, hold on. I can't do it like that. I got to do it a different way. Hold on here just a second. No, I'll get you what you're looking for. But SG Fanboy did some wonderful things. Bingo. And let's see if it lets me do it even. Jerks. Bunch of jerks. There's one of them right there. They're coming to get you, Barbara. That's my face. I love Johnny. He's one of my two favorite characters. You're ignorant. And I hate to show this one because I look so much like the actual movie character. It's almost like not worth putting my face on it. But yeah, I'm going to show it anyway. There we go. That is my face, but it looks so much like the guy in the movie that it's somewhat embarrassing. And then finally, an SG Fanboy did all of these because he is the man. He is the man. Here we go. Let's see here. This is another great one. This is really good. There we go. There's me as Ben. That's me going, I think you should just calm down. It's right before he slaps her around. Well, she slaps him first, to be fair. I got to get a picture up here. What am I doing? Sorry, guys. I haven't done a show in a while. A lot out of practice. All right. So, Image 10 forms. You got your Judith O'Dea as Barbara. You got your Keith Wayne as Tom. Judith Ridley, who I'll show you again in a second. But George Romero started his career while he was attending Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. And he edited and directed and produced TV commercials and industrial films for The Latent Image, a company that he co-founded with his friend Russell Streiner, who is the brother of another Streiner that's in the movie. But he also played Johnny, my favorite character. Hey, come on, praying's for church, huh? They're coming to get you, Barbara. So the Latent Image started very small, but they produced a very high-budget commercial for Calgon, which spoofed the Fantastic Voyage, big movie at the time. And Romero felt like that they could make a feature film. And they wanted to capitalize on the late 60s sort of exploitation movies, the bizarre is his exact words. And so he and Streiner and a guy named John Russo contacted this industrial film firm called Hardman Associates, which was owned by Carl Hardman and Marilyn Eastman, who play the Coopers in Night of the Living Dead. Well, of course not, Harry. That couple, yeah, they owned a business together. So they created Image 10, and it was created to do one thing, produce one single feature film. And the initial budget for the movie was $6,000, and each member of the production company kicked in $600 for a share of the profits. Now, 10 more investors contributed another $6,000, but it still wasn't enough money. So production stopped a whole bunch of times while they were filming. And he used the film they had already shot to get more investors. So eventually they raised about $114,000, which is about $1 million today. $1 million, okay? Sure, you guys would like another picture. I'm going to have so many super chats to read. I'm not super chats, just chats. There's Judy shortly before becoming a Chungking Brown and Serve snack tray. Romero and John Russo wrote the script, and they started off wanting to do a horror comedy about teenage aliens, and they went, we can't make a convincing spaceship. We just can't do it. So Russo said, why don't we do a story about a young man that runs away from home and discovers alien harvesting human corpses for food in a cemetery? And Romero combined this idea with an unpublished short story that he'd written about flesh-eating ghouls. And they started filming without a complete script. And according to Russo, the screenplay written prior to filming only covered events up to where the Cooper family comes out of the basement. So Russo completed the script while the movie was being shot, and Romero later expanded the final pages of his short story into the next two movies, Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. So Romero loved a movie by Richard Matheson called I Am Legend, which incidentally I think is public domain. And if it is, and we can play it on YouTube, then we'll watch it sometime on a weekend members only watch party. And he loved the novel even more. So Much of the dialogue of the movie was either altered, rewritten, or just improvised, flat out improvised by the cast. And the actress that played Barbara, Judith O'Dea, she told an interviewer, I don't know if there was an actual working script. We'd go over basically what had to be done and then just did it the way we felt it should be done. One example, she says, is when she tells Ben about Johnny's death, when she's like, Johnny has got to come back. And then the man attacked him. He ripped at me, and Johnny said, stop it. And that whole thing, she just improv. Yeah, totally improv. Marilyn Eastman, who plays Mr. Cooper's wife, she modified the scenes for Helen and Harry Cooper in the cellar. She kind of did that on her own. And Mr. Cooper, Carl Hardman, attributed Ben's lines to lead actor Dwayne Jones. He said he just did his own lines. He was an uneducated truck driver in the script until Jones himself rewrote the character. So the lead actor was supposed to be white. But upon casting black actor Dwayne Jones, Romero intentionally did not alter the script one single line. And he said, we started casting for a lead. This guy showed up. He was the best actor, so we just picked him. There were very few black actors playing leading roles, basically Sidney Poitier, and that was it. So there you go. So the budget that they had kind of determined where they were going to shoot this movie. And they filmed scenes near Evans City, Pennsylvania, about 30 miles north of Pittsburgh, in a very rural area. The opening sequence was shot in the Evans Cemetery, Evans City Cemetery. And they didn't have money to build or purchase a house for the main set, so they rented a nearby farmhouse that was supposed to be demoed. It was supposed to be demolished. It didn't have running water, but the crew members slept there during the shooting, and they would take baths in a nearby creek. The building's neglected cellar was not a viable location for filming, so the very few basement scenes were shot underneath the latent image offices. The basement door in the film was cut into a wall by the production team, and it didn't lead anywhere. Nowhere. Just a hole in the wall. That was it. There's Dwayne Jones right there. Oh, but let's just go here. This is the cellar. And there's young Karen feasting on her absolutely despicable father. Props and special effects were simple. They were limited by the budget. The blood was Bosco chocolate syrup. That is what it was. Human flesh was basically, one of the investors had a butcher shop. And he just gave them all the internal organs and meat that was left over, and that's what they used. Zombie makeup varied during the whole movie. Initially, it was just white skin and black eyes, but then there was like mortician's wax that was used for wounds and decaying flesh. The filming took place between July of 67 and January of 68 under various titles. It started with the title Monster Flick, and then they changed it to Night of Anubis, which was the title of Romero's short story. And then Night of the Flesh Eaters was the last title, not used in the final release because there was a movie that was named very similarly, and so they finally came up with Night of the Living Dead, which was a stroke of genius. He had to shoot on 35 millimeter black and white film instead of 70 millimeter, which would be big screen film. And the completed film really benefited from that choice because the black and white filming they did was guerrilla style, and it was almost like a newsreel. It was unstable, it helped get that paranoia and everything across. So the Night of the Living Dead was the first feature film directed by George Romero, and he did all these other things. He even did shorts for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And that launched his career as a horror director. He did Season of the Witch, The Crazies, Martin, Creepshow, a lot of different movies. Many influences. Some critics at the time criticized the film because of the graphic scenes, especially when Karen kills her mom. And Romero's like, what girl hasn't wanted to kill her mother at one time or another? Whatever. Members of Image 10 that were involved in the filming and post-production participated in loading camera magazines, gaffing, constructing props, recording sounds, editing. These people did everything. It was, they had to. It was that kind of a production. Production stills were shot and printed by Mr. Cooper, Carl Hardman, and assisted by a production line of other cast members. So everybody just grabbed a camera and shot stills, production stills. Upon the completion of the post-production, Image 10 found it difficult to get a distributor willing to show the film because it was so gruesome for the time. Columbia rejected the film for its lack of color. American International Pictures, which was Samuel Arkoff and Roger Corman had an association with them. They declined after they requested them to soften it and reshoot the final scene because it was too depressing. The Walter Reed organization agreed to show the film uncensored, but changed the title to Night of the Flesh Eaters, from Night of the Flesh Eaters to Night of the Living Dead because of that potential copyright issue. While changing the title, the copyright notice was accidentally deleted from releases of the film, and that's why it's public domain to this day, to this very, very day. Here's Ben and Barbara right after he roughs her up. Man, I'm sorry I hit you. Here's some shoes. All guys know that's the way to a woman's heart is shoes, so it's a good way to make up. Night of the Living Dead premiered on October 1st, 1968 at the Fulton Theater in Pittsburgh. Nationally, it was a Saturday afternoon matinee, which was pretty much the standard for horror movies at the time, and it attracted the usual horror film audience of mainly pre-teenagers and adolescents. Now, the MPAA film rating system was not in place until the following month. So children, yes, were able to purchase tickets. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times said that should never have happened. And he noted that children in the audience initially displayed typical reactions to 60s horror films, including shouting when the ghouls were on screen. He said that the atmosphere in the theater shifted to grim silence as all the characters began to die one by one and being consumed, their internal organs and everything else. The deaths of Ben, Barbara, and the supporting cast showed a very dismal outlook, which is unusual. Normally there's a hero, there's a survivor. And the Variety magazine denounced the movie as a moral failing of the filmmakers, the horror genre, and regional cinema. It was an unrivaled orgy of sadism. And despite the controversies around it, 5 years after the premiere, Night of the Living Dead was the most profitable horror film ever that was produced outside the walls of a major studio. In the decade after its release, the film grossed over $15 million at the United States box office and was translated into 25 languages. It was the top grossing film in Europe in 1968. It was probably the first cult movie, Night of the Living Dead. Decades after its release, it's still referred to as a classic and gets positive reviews. It's in the top 500 greatest movies of all time. New York Times has it in the best 1,000 movies. Total Film has it in the 100 greatest movies. Rolling Stone, one of the 100 greatest movies. Reader's Digest found it to be the 12th scariest movie ever made. On the Rotten Tomatoes website, 95% of 84 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 8.9 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, George A. Romero's debut sets the template for the zombie film, features tight editing, realistic gore, and sly political undercurrent. So it was awarded 2 big honors after its debut. The Library of Congress added the film to the National Film Registry, deeming it culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And In 2001, the film was ranked number 93 by the American Film Institute on their top 100 thrillers list. So there you are. The famed New York film critic Pauline Kael called the film one of the most gruesomely terrifying movies ever made. And when you leave the theater, you may wish you could forget the whole experience. And the ending of it, I can say for myself personally, it just shocked me. It was like, Ben, he had to, you mean nobody? Anyway, now, one of the biggest things, and I experienced it just after this weekend, is the copyright status. So it was mistakenly released into the public domain because when they changed the title, they didn't replace the copyright notice. Now, Image 10 displayed a notice on the title frames of the film beneath the original title, but the distributors removed it when they changed the title. And at that time, United States copyright law said that public dissemination required copyright notice to maintain a copyright. Well, there was no copyright notice. So several years after the film's release, the creators discovered the original prints distributed to theaters didn't have copyright protection. They didn't own the film. Because Night of the Living Dead was not copyrighted, there's been 100 billion home releases on VHS, Betamax, DVD, Blu-ray. You name the format, somebody's taken it, copied it, and sold it. Over 200 distinct versions of the film have been released on tape alone. And so people make edits to it. They do whatever they want with it. It's got no copyright, right? So there are a number of revised versions of the film. And, you know, the first version that was revised, that was major, was a colorization by some people, Hal Roach Studios, that featured ghouls with pale green skin. Another colorized version appeared in 1997 from Anchor Bay with gray-skinned zombies. There was a colorized 3D version released in 2009, and it was released theatrically in 2010 in 2D, then converted to 3D. So, in 1999, Russo released a modified version called the 30th Anniversary Edition. He filmed additional scenes and recorded a revised soundtrack. In an interview in Fangoria magazine, he explained that he wanted to give the movie a more modern pace, and he took liberties with the original script, too. The additions are not clearly identified or listed and difficult to notice, to be honest with you. There was an animated version of it done, Night of the Living Dead Reanimated, that screened at several film festivals released on DVD in 2010. And so, you know, it's been all over. People have done everything with it. So, I could talk to you a little bit about the other films, the Romero's Dead films, the Return of the Living Dead series, which takes place in an alternate continuity where the original film and the actual Living Dead exist. And so Russo wrote a novel called Return of the Living Dead as a sequel to the film. And he collaborated with Russ Streiner and Rudy Ricci on a screenplay under the same title. And the rights to that were bought. Dan O'Bannon, great science fiction director, was brought in to direct and rewrite the script. And he changed nearly everything but the title. And his Return of the Living Dead arrived in theaters in 1985, right alongside Day of the Dead. And Romero didn't like this. He wanted to block Fox from marketing the film as a sequel and demanded the name be changed. And it's hard to do when you don't own a copyright. George Cameron Romero, the son of George Romero, wrote a prequel to that classic under the working title Origins and Rise of the Living Dead. And he did it, as he said, as tribute to his dad's work. So you check that out if you want. There's remakes of it. The famous 1990 remake directed by Tom Savini. I don't know if I've told you my Tom Savini story. A lot of people worship Tom Savini. I've had interactions with Tom Savini. I think Tom Savini is a massive jerk. And it's a long story, but suffice to say, when I actually met him in person after being cursed at and yelled at on the phone and in email, he's not as tall as I am. He wasn't quite as boisterous. We'll just put it that way. Anyway, at the suggestion of Bill Hinsman, and that's the guy that attacks Barbara in the very first scene and kills Johnny, composers Todd Goodman and Stephen Catanzarete, composed an opera based on the film. Yes. And it was performed in October of 2013. There was a play that had been performed at major cities, Toronto, Leeds, Auckland. And so the legacy of Romero goes all the way into the zombie genre. He created it. He started it. He set the rules. Many critics have interpreted it, and I hate it when they do this, but they get all hoity-toity, fanciful, and they interpreted it as a subversive film that critiques 1960s American society, Cold War politics, and domestic racism. Man, it's a horror movie, you know. Some have seen it as a critique of the American involvement in Vietnam War. How do you get that out of it? Anyway, Night of the Living Dead, extremely influential, still popular to this day, still holds up today. We all watched it. It's a great movie, and it's fun. And if you've seen it, then it's fun to kind of mystery science theater it. And that's what we did this weekend, and we had a heck of a time, and I'm glad you guys showed up. And that's really all I have to tell you for right now, because I know there's a million comments about Night of the Living Dead. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's get back here, and let me see do I have any other good... Man, when she starts munching down on her dad there, that's... Yeah, let's see. Come on. People saying hi. Oh, here we go. I think this is about where we were. Hello, Chris Abels. We built something. Liz is here. Homie, don't play that's here. Happy birthday, Chris, from your homie. By the way, replayables in 23 minutes and 50 seconds. People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet as verified by independent sources. I can't talk today for some reason. And I'd also like to say share, like, subscribe, retweet, do all those things as we serve the almighty algorithm. The almighty algorithm. I'm going to put myself as Ben up here just because I like it. So, and also there's super chats, and please allow gifted memberships. The instructions are on the screen right now. Please do that. Rumpled Trenchcoat gifted 5. So check it out. Oh, look, the loving couple giving each other kissy face. Get a room, you two. People saying hi. What was the budget for the film? The budget for the film was $114,000 in 1968, which is about $1 million in today's money. They thought they were really going to do it for $6,000, and then they got another $6,000, and then they just went and started shooting and used what they shot to get more investors after that, and ended up with $114,000. People saying hi. SG Fanboy says Barbara equals square. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Stop it. That always used to... You're ignorant. Hello, Chris. People saying hi? Well, thank you. Hi. Happy birthday, man. Looks like Tom. It is me. Zombie number 4 was my favorite character, says Joker Fish. See, I got to tell you, when that movie came out, I would go to the drive-in, and it would show at the drive-in for a long time. The trailer was horrifying, and it to me seemed like this is too horrifying to watch. It's so people eating flesh. You never saw anything like that ever before it. Thank you for the Tom. The Tom picks is SG fanboy is brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. Wolf says phone lines open. I will call. Well, let me get through some of these comments and then I'll open the phone lines. Terry Nee says, was such a great movie as a child. As usual, the black guy always dies. Well, unfortunately. Those are great pictures. SG fam, everybody, SG fanboy, please. It's just, he's too good. Happy birthday, Chris. Yes, happy birthday. I didn't even know it was his birthday. I just found out. Ben Tom is amazing. Nice work, SG fanboy. SG fanboy is the man. He's a legend. He's a legend. The man's a legend. People saying hi and happy birthday, Chris Sables, if that is your real name. Phone lines open for the... Okay, let's open the lines for the wolf. Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up. Club them in the head. Beat them and burn them. They go up pretty easy. Good shot. Okay, let's move along. Good shot. The Hammer had his contact and he couldn't die in his film. Oh yeah, the Fred the Hammer Williamson, he couldn't die in his movies. John Wayne had a bunch of things too that you weren't allowed to do. People saying hi. Teenagers from Mars, good movie. Karen Garvey says I should have changed my name to Sheriff McClellan before the show. Yeah, Sheriff McClellan's the best. Yeah, they're all messed up. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy. Okay, boys, that's a good shot. Get him right between the eyes. Boom, good shot. Okay, boys, let's move along. Let's get a fire going over there. John's script would be, let's see here. Don't forget the great actor Richard Roundtree, Shaft. Oh God, I love Shaft. I not only have Shaft on DVD, I have Shaft's Big Score, and I have Shaft in Africa. All three. My cousin was the janitor in Shaft. The wolf. Brush with greatness. Rubble Trenchcoat says, I remember the flesh eaters, a little weird glowing thing that would act like piranha. Yeah. Loved Creepshow. I have Creepshow on DVD. I don't think George Romero named it. I don't think he owned the rights. Well, he did own the rights, but there's no copyright on them. You know, it's today's rules. He would still own. I mean, he has a common law copyright, but by today's rules, he would own it. But he was also Uncle Ben's rice guy in commercials and on the box. Wow, Wolf! I never knew that. Purses too. Payphone lines are now open. I should call about the mule's wedding. We're talking about Night of the Living Dead. Creepshow was so good. Leslie Nielsen was such a great bad guy in it. Oh my God, I'd love to have a share in that. Reverend Wild Bill says, call in when he opens them. The phone lines are open. Bing, the crowd favorite. We got not that long to talk, but he hasn't opened it yet. Not yet. I just opened it. Jeez Louise, I got 1 million of these comments to get through. Most terrifying movie I ever saw at the time is a Ute. Most terrifying movie I've ever seen is When Harry Met Sally. It just chills. What's a Ute? Sorry, youths. Chris Abel says Creepshow or Creepshow 2 was hilarious. The guy that said, thanks for the ride, lady. Creepshow 2 is actually also very good. Should I ask Vinny? Which Vinny? Sheriff Gully. Sheriff Gully. Oh, yeah, my brother. Now, he just killed all the zombies himself by hand. The Hitchhiker in Chris's Creepshow. George Romero had nothing to do with any other Night of the Living Dead sequels. Well, no, he did Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. Pretty sure he was involved in those. The reality of the sad part is the actual reanimation with black goo, alien, infective, sentient, evil gunk went over a graveyard where they were not too far deteriorating. Jerry, you just always are Very difficult to understand. Rumpled Trenchcoat says it's pretty wild how Return of the Living Dead had so many tropes like zombies wanting brains. Brains. Takes brains to be a zombie. Trying to answer the incoming call. Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gully Show. You're on the air. First call sometimes screws up. I don't know why. It's a Skype thing. Welcome to Tom Gully Show. You're on the air.
Are you sure I'm on the air?
I am so sure.
I was thinking yesterday about some of my shenanigans with Fitz's wife, who would be just like Barbara.
Yes. Why don't you just calm down?
She was like the sweetest, kindest person that you could possibly meet, and I took her on a ride. When I went to visit Fitz when he was coaching offensive line for Arizona State, I took her to get a flotation device from Kmart, and all they had left was the display. So I went through my manager's speak, which Linda was mortified at, and convinced them to sell us the display. Then we went to Carl's Jr., which is basically my favorite place to get burgers at. And I terrified her again by when I got to the counter, I said, "That's a picture of Carl Carter." And they go, "Well, yes, he's the founder and the owner." And I said, "Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but he axe murdered his entire family." And Linda gets this look goes on her face of terror and mortification. And I spent probably 15 minutes trying to convince them that their founder was an axe murderer and that they didn't know about it. And I had an entire back counter of people with their faces just frozen with their eyes big and their mouths agape while I related this story of how he axe murdered their family. And then I thought about, I don't know, you probably don't have enough time now, but I was going to tell about the crowd favorite. We went to my friend Andy Sawyer. His nickname was the Mule.
Yeah.
And we went down to Nashville, and we were all staying in a motel together. And they would come back from these dinners and getting ready for the actual wedding, and Sawyer and some of the guys that we were friends with all came back pissed off. They'd throw the door open, it'd hit the wall, and I go, "Okay, what happened now?" And they'd start going into this story about how Mule's frat brothers, because he went to Ole Miss, so it's like uppity new money and old money,
Southern money.
And I said, "Okay, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not going to hear this ever again." So we went out and got Jose Cuervo was a friend of mine.
Okay.
Rose's Lime and Jack Daniels. And John and I floated in the middle of the pool with a bottle of Cuervo floating between us, and we were drinking this bottle. And we got hammered. There were these two old ladies who had gotten into they'd pulled the shade back and the drapes back from their window and were watching us. And John said, "Oh, I know how to make them go back inside." And I said, "What are you going to do?" And John flashed the moon and shot the star.
Oh, man.
And these old ladies quickly
scattered.
Got surprised looks on their faces and closed the drapes and the blinds. So we get to the bottom and we finished off this first bottle of Cuervo. And Linda rushes out and says, "What are you still doing out in the pool? We're going to be late. Get inside and get dressed." So there are pictures of John and I floating around nude in the shower, singing songs together.
Well,
We get dressed. We drive to and it's a Methodist church with these gigantic, wide, long steps. We get out, bottles of empty Jose tinkle along the ground as we drop them. We go in, and oh Lord, I was drunk in the back with a couple of other friends, and John is best man. He's uncooperative, and we're talking about a guy that's 6'4", and at that time weighed about 290.
yeah.
So all the frat brothers are whispering to each other, and I said, well, I knew I was going to be the crowd favorite, so it's time to act like him. And immediately put into effect whenever things are bad and you're in a bad situation, you have to do everything in your power to make it worse.
Yeah.
So we get out. I end up falling hammered into the limousine as they opened the door for the two of them to get in. I fell into the limo, got out. We get to the house for the after dinner. It's like a museum inside, all these expensive vases and all this stuff. And as we walk in the door, I said, I'm here. Everybody hide all the silverware and the valuables, and walked in. They're whispering and upset. And Linda comes back and tells John, you should hear what they're saying about you and all of us at the pool. And I said, of course, we're the dreaded Huns from the north. So I proceeded to start eating all of their food. So all the food that they had catered for the guests, John and I ate all of it. And my other friend Drew said, well, you guys haven't finished off everything, and he ate the parsley.
Oh, God.
So there was nothing for the guests to eat. Well, they're all gathered. All the frat boys are gathered around the pool, and they're talking about how they were going to do us in. So I said, John, it's time for us to go to the pool. And so we go out to the pool, and I'm probably 250 at 5'10".
Yeah.
And John is massive, of course. So we go out to the pool, and they were talking about how they were going to throw us in the pool. And I said, hey, John, you feel like swimming? And he said, no. And I said, I don't either. But apparently there are some people that think that they can make us go swimming. I said, which one of you guys wants to go swimming first? And they cower together, and there's like 10 of them. And so then they start talking about how we'd eaten all their food and all this. And I said, yes, we did. And if you bring more, we'll eat that too. So the guests had no food. We left, also leaving another empty bottle. There's a woman outside that apparently she'd been pregnant and had a baby, but her stomach was still huge. So I thought she was still pregnant. I walked up to her and I said, Linda, who's been saying all this stuff? And she said, he has, and his wife. And I said, oh, okay. I walked up to her and I said, put my head against her stomach and my hand on it and said, hello, are you still in there? And Linda pulls me aside and says, Kim, she already had the baby. And we start laughing and walk out. And that was the dreaded Huns from the north coming down, conquering, and leaving.
Well, I have to get to a ton because some people super chatted and stuff. We got to do a show where you just tell stories.
Tell all these crazy stories.
Yeah, let's figure out a time when you can definitely do it.
All right, I was hoping another Ball Stater would be coming in, but I guess not.
Who, John Lyons?
No. I don't know this guy. Apparently he graduated in I want to say 86. Yeah. But I made some comments on Whitlock's show and then said go Ball State at the end of it, and was talking about Charlie Cardinal coming back. I told him Charlie Cardinal was back and a bunch of other stuff, but I told him about your show and when you come on, and I guess he's not going to do it.
He's full of it. Anyway, I got to get going and get this done because I got to be done at the top of the hour. But thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Adios.
All right. The wolf. We're going to do a show where the wolf just tells stories. There are all stories that you wouldn't believe are true, but I've been there. They're true. They're crazy stories. Just absolutely. Reverend Wild Bill says, Tom Savini's not that great of an FX guy, and I personally know better ones. I have some of their creations. He's also a jerk and a little bit of a weasel. Diana Brand says, thanks, Tom, for giving up your free time on Sunday. And by the way, there are people in like the horror movie making community that if you say anything bad about Tom Savini, they lose their mind. And I'm like, no, I've got emails and stuff. And he was a jerk to me. Thanks for giving up your free time on Sunday. No, my time's your time. I had a blast. We're going to do it again this weekend. 1 p.m. Eastern Sunday. Tyler Schellenberger says one of the true horror classics. It so is. Algorithm must be obeyed. Algorithm. People saying hi. Aku is a first month member. Here's to many more to come. Thank you, Aku, very much. I appreciate it. Tyler Schellenberger says Rocky Horror Picture Show used to be shown late night theaters for quite a while as well. Yeah, the midnight movies. They'd show Flesh Gordon and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know some drive-ins that would play midnight features on Night of the Living Dead. They sure would. I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show in theaters many times. Yeah, it was all over the place. Yes, SG Fanboy is a god that walks amongst men. It's his world. We're just living in it. I own 5 different versions of Rocky Horror Picture Show on video. Wow. SG Fanboy is gifted 5 memberships. Man, you gotta allow gifted memberships. Bottom of the screen in the crawl right now. There's the instructions. Kahuna Brutta. People saying hi. Jerry Lahane thanking SG Fanboy, who's just incredible. SG, I'm a ghostwriter for mass media. Keep me in mind. Okay. Night Living Dead is good, but Dawn is better. Dawn is awful good. It's awful good. Tyler Schellenberger says one horrifying movie to watch for not for horror aspect but subject matters. Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, that is one. That's very good. Aku says Ute is an Australian work truck, usually a Toyota. Jerry says, how many aquariums could Chris drink? Oh God, quite a few. Karen Garvey says all of them. That's on the spin wheel tonight on Replayables, which will be on in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. 5, okay. I love Dawn of the Dead and Light of the Dead, Land and Day I could do without. Another lesser, greater known Romero film called Martin. I can't recommend though. Martin was also remade. Is this the wolf? It was the one and only wolf. It's the wolf. Glug glug. I'll have to check out Martin. That's where the song Ben came from by Michael Jackson. Right on, Wild Bill. Hello, Wolf. Moon is... Oh, God. Come on, Jerry. SG Family says 100%. The only thing that makes Day so great is Bub and Martin is a great flit. Answer is 42. It's always 42. Have a good stream. Thank you, Peppy. Sounds like the wolf is a little intimidating. Oh, my God. 250, 5'10". It's got like a 20-inch waist. It's all just V-shaped. It's crazy. Say goodnight, Gracie, everyone. Good night, Gracie. Wild Bill and Wolf Show. Well, not a bad idea. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody's super chats here. No, I haven't. And gifted memberships. Good, I haven't. Go Ball State, of course. Moorfield Ball U. Yes, there's the ring and everything. I'm really sorry. Terry. Savini was just one of the first Gore FX guys. Yeah, latex and not that great. Not that great. Terry, I don't think I can forgive you ever. Terry says, I've thrown toast. The wolf says, I've thrown lawnmowers. I've seen the wolf throw lawnmowers. I've seen him throw beer kegs. I've seen him throw refrigerators. I saw him run with a keg of beer, a full keg of beer, on his shoulders up a flight of stairs, a twisting dormitory, 4 or 5 stories up. And there were people that were sort of trying to run interference to see if any of the hall staff were loitering near the doors to the landing. He was outrunning them up the stairs. I'm not joking. I've seen this in real life. Also, I wasn't there, but he tried to tackle a tree one time. The tree had transgressed the unwritten law. We got 2 minutes left. Thank you guys for being here. Apologies again for not being here yesterday. I've seen him throw a refrigerator. Yeah, the wolf was a bodybuilder, like a competition bodybuilder, and huge, just massive. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Tree ran right out in front of him. No, the tree said something, Rumpled Trenchcoat. It said, "You ain't about nothing," and then a bad word. And so the tree had to be tackled. Thanks, Tom, says Jokerfish. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank everybody. No, the tree transgressed the unwritten law. It said something he didn't like. Did he tell the tree to leave? No. He tackled him. Tackled the tree. Well, tried to tackle the tree. I'd say it was a tie. On the wolf's pics, he looks a little top heavy. He's just giant. 60 seconds till replayables. We got to go. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for like, share, blah, blah, algorithm. All of you who donated memberships or super chats, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And the only thing left to say is, till next time, first of all, go to replayables. But second, till next time on the Leviverse Network. Till next time, we'll see you next time.